Today is Wednesday, February 25th, 2026, and this is Read Through the Bible.
Hi, everyone.
And through modern technology, we're talking again. You are in Durango, Colorado right now.
That's right, I still am. So today's Wednesday, and I'm here through Friday. I fly home on Friday. So
yeah. How's your time been?
I am just loving being here. I'm especially loving my time with June, and but also with all of them. And but something I've really enjoyed a lot is each day, SR, our son, and June and I have just driven a mile or so down the road to a beautiful river walk that is here. A river goes through the valley in Durango, and so there's a beautiful walkway for miles along the river. And so we've taken walks down there because it's, even though it's cold, I mean, there's snow on the ground, but it's sunny, and so it feels really warm and nice out. And so we've taken walks, and June is just so cute. She loves deer, and we've seen a lot of deer along the path, and she spots them. And then she gets so excited about them. It's really cute. And so I really enjoyed that. But something interesting is that it's about 6,000 feet elevation here. And so I get winded so easily. Maybe not so much on a flat walkway like the river walk, but like going up and down stairs or up and down hills. I just get really winded because the air is thinner here. But it's beautiful. The view of the mountains is just gorgeous. And there's still some snow on the mountains, so it's just, yeah, I'm loving it here.
Well, being so sunny outside, also you get your vitamin D.
Oh, absolutely.
Which you were loving.
Have to drink lots of water because it's very dry. So.
Yeah. All right, well, we are here to read the Bible, and we're going to read 2 Chronicles chapter 21 and chapter 22 today. And these tell the story, as 2 Chronicles is, of the kings of Judah. Today we're going to be looking at Jehoram in chapter 21, and Ahaziah in chapter 22, and then the White Witch comes, Athaliah, at the end of chapter 22.
Yeah, although she's hinted at in chapter 21 as well.
Yes. Okay,
so
chapter 21, verse 1.
Yep.
Jehoshaphat slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, and Jehoram his son reigned in his place. He had brothers, the sons of Jehoshaphat, Azariah, Jehiel, Zechariah, Azariah, Michael, and Shephatiah. All these were the sons of Jehoshaphat, king of Israel. Their father gave them great gifts of silver, gold, and valuable possessions, together with fortified cities in Judah. But he gave the kingdom to Jehoram because he was the firstborn. When Jehoram had ascended the throne of his father and was established, he killed all his brothers with a sword, and also some of the princes of Israel. Jehoram was 32 years old when he became king, and he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. And this is not a good thing, right? But he's killing all his brothers because they're a threat to the throne. He merely got the throne because he's the oldest and needs to make sure there's no more threat.
I do wonder if he got that idea from his wife, who you're about to read about.
Yeah, could be. She does the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Later, Athaliah. Yep. Okay. And he walked in the ways of the kings of Israel as the house of Ahab had done, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife. That's Athaliah.
Athaliah, yep.
Yep. We like to call her the White Witch. And he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. Yet the Lord was not willing to destroy the house of David because of the covenant that he had made with David, and since he had promised to give a lamp to him and to his sons forever. Again, this goes back to 2 Samuel 7 or 1 Chronicles 17, just key and rock to the whole Old Testament, right?
And just God's mercy that even though the house of Judah had become so wicked, God was so merciful to them because he was going to be faithful to his promise to David.
Yeah. Okay. Verse 8.
In his days, Edom revolted from the rule of Judah and set up a king of their own. Then Jehoram passed over with his commanders and all his chariots, and he rose by night and struck the Edomites, who had surrounded him and his chariot commanders. So Edom revolted from the rule of Judah to this day. At that time Libnah also revolted from his rule, because he had forsaken the Lord, the God of his fathers.
Moreover, he had made high places in the hill country of Judah, and led the inhabitants of Jerusalem into whoredom, and made Judah go astray. And a letter came to him from Elijah the prophet, saying, and so here we get a little mix. Elijah was primarily in the northern kingdom of Israel. And Elijah said this, "Thus says the Lord, the God of David your father, because you have not walked in the ways of Jehoshaphat your father, or in the ways of Asa king of Judah, but have walked in the way of the kings of Israel, and have enticed Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem into whoredom, as the house of Ahab led Israel into whoredom. And also you have killed your brothers of your father's house, who were better than you.
Oh.
Behold, the Lord will bring a great plague on your people, your children, your wives, and all your possessions, and you yourself will have a severe sickness with a disease of your bowels, until your bowels come out because of the disease day by day. Oh, painful.
That sounds
awful.
like a terrible disease.
Yeah, wow.
Verse 16, and the Lord stirred up against Jehoram the anger of the Philistines and the Arabians who are near the Ethiopians. And they came up against Judah and invaded it, and carried away all the possessions they found that belonged to the king's house, and also his sons and his wives, so that no son was left to him except Jehoahaz, his youngest son.
And after all this, the Lord struck him in his bowels with an incurable disease, as he had already said he would. In the course of time, at the end of 2 years, his bowels came out because of the disease, and he died in great agony. His people made no fire in his honor, like the fires made for his fathers. He was 32 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem, and he departed with no one's regret.
Ooh, ouch.
No tears at his departing. They buried him in the city of David, but not in the tombs of the kings. So he did not get an honorable burial.
Right.
No one regretted, because Jehoram, he killed all his brothers.
Right. No one liked him.
Yep. Okay. In terms of summarizing that, this is just Jehoram, this wicked king who killed all his brothers and died because his bowels came out to no one's regret.
Right. So this is the one chapter about him, and that's it.
Yep. And now we're going to the next king.
All right. So, but he brought in his wife, the queen Athaliah. Mm-hmm. He brought her in, kind of like how the White Witch got into Narnia.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. If you know, you know. Okay. Verse 22 or chapter 22. And the inhabitants of Jerusalem made Ahaziah, his youngest son, king in his place. For the band of men that came with the Arabians to the camp had killed all the older sons. So Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, reigned. Ahaziah was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Athaliah, the granddaughter of Omri. So now Omri was the father of Ahab. Mm-hmm. So he also walked in the ways of the house of Ahab, for his mother was his counselor in doing wickedly. Ugh. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, as the house of Ahab had done.
Yeah, so when you think of Athaliah, I think you can think of the White Witch, like kind of who she is.
And she was brought into
yep.
the good country.
Yeah, she was from the north, the wicked country, and then brought into the good, and she makes it bad. Yep.
Yeah. For after the death of his father, they were his counselors to his undoing. He even followed their counsel and went with Jehoram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, to make war against Hazael, king of Syria, at Ramoth Gilead. So still this alliance with Israel is continuing on. And the Syrians wounded Joram, and he returned to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds that he had received at Ramah. And by the way, he's called Joram, and he's also called Jehoram. Mm-hmm. Those are kind of like William and Bill.
Mm-hmm. Like Bill and Billy, Jehoram, Joram.
Right,
yeah.
right. Verse 6, and he returned to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds he had received at Ramah when he fought against Hazael, king of Syria. And Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, went down to see Joram, the son of Ahab, in Jezreel, because he was wounded.
But it was ordained by God that the downfall of Ahaziah should come about through his going to visit Joram. For when he came there, he went out with Joram to meet Jehu, the son of Nimshi, whom the Lord had anointed to destroy the house of Ahab. Now, remember in our reading of 2 Kings, chapters 9 and 10, we had Jehu the Yahu, who basically went on a killing spree and killing all the wickedness out of Israel and Judah.
Really appointed by God to kill all of Ahab's family.
Yep. And when Jehu was executing judgment on the house of Ahab, he met the princes of Judah and the sons of Ahaziah's brothers who attended Ahaziah, and he killed them. He searched for Ahaziah, and he was captured while hiding in Samaria, and he was brought to Jehu and put to death. They buried him, For they said, and that's an honorable burial, just to say here that they buried him. For they said, he is the grandson of Jehoshaphat, who sought the Lord with all his heart. And the house of Ahaziah had no one able to rule the kingdom. And therefore, we see the white witch, Athaliah, stepping in the vacuum.
She's going to rise up. Verse 10. Now, when Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her son was dead, she arose and destroyed all the royal family of the house of Judah.
So
just trying to completely wipe out the line of David.
Yeah, which is amazing. Every human effort was made to wipe out David's kingly line, of which God had promised that of your descendants there will always be someone to sit on the throne. And had she been successful, the line of David would have been wiped out. But God was faithful.
And no one can thwart his plans.
That's right. This great story here.
Verse 11. But Jehoshabeath, the daughter of the king, took Joash, the son of Ahaziah, and stole him away from among the king's sons who were about to be put to death. And she put him and his nurse in a bedroom, which, by the way, he was a baby. So maybe it was a little easier to hide him than any of the other kids. Thus, Jehoshabeath, the daughter of King Jehoram, and wife of Jehoiada the priest, because she was a sister of Ahaziah, hid him from Athaliah, so that she did not put him to death. And he remained with them 6 years, hidden in the house of God, while Athaliah reigned over the land.
Okay, and then we're going to read tomorrow about how after 6 years, Joash is 6 years old, and Jehoiada is going to arrange this protection of him and reign him as king, as he is, declare him king. When he's 6 years old, and then Athaliah, they're going to destroy her for her treason.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, chapter 22 tells the story of Ahaziah, and then begins to tell the story of the wicked queen Athaliah, who destroys everybody except Joash.
Yes, and introduces us to baby Joash.
And we'll read about him tomorrow. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.